I made a video called 3 for 63, where I gave you my top 3 novels of 1963, the year I was born. There are a couple more novels that I wanted to read to see if they would crack into that top 3. One of them I'm going to review today. After I'd finished reading this novel, I thought a lot about how novels reflected the time they were in, or perhaps even the experiences of the authors. You might think of some that I've reviewed lately. John Wyndham served in World War II, and I think some of his experiences come through clear in The Day of the Triffids. And we know that Walter M. Miller Jr. is haunted by the bombing of an abbey in Italy, and that in large part plays out in A Canticle for Leibowitz. Joe Haldeman served in the Vietnam War, and his experiences largely shape the Forever War. But what of the Cold War, with the threat of nuclear holocaust? Bob Shaw's Ground Zero Man deals with the sword of Damocles hanging over us of nuclear war. What would happen if all those weapons could be destroyed at once? The Canticle for Leibowitz would fit into this category as well, as it is a post-apocalyptic society following nuclear devastation. I think you can think of a number of novels that might fit into this category as well. The novel I'm going to discuss today reminded me of Stanley Kubrick's film Dr. Strangelove, or How I Stopped Worrying and Learned to Love the Bomb. That film was made in 1964. The novel I'm going to discuss was made in 1963 and may have influenced the writing of that film. One more book that follows the lineage of the book I'm going to talk about, Dr. Strangelove, seems to be a response to Dr. Strangelove called Dr. Blood Money, or How We Got Along After the Bomb by Philip K. Dick. I'm sure you know the book I'm teasing you about. Cat's Cradle, Kurt Vonnegut, 1963. This is a satirical novel with politics, technology, and religion in its crosshairs. The book is written as a flashback by the author of The Day the World Ended. Not much foreshadowing there. The book would be about what people were doing on the day that an atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. However, in his research for his book, he meets the family of a scientist who was designing the atomic bomb. This is one strange family. Eventually, we discover that the scientist's father, who has passed away, has made another discovery. This discovery could end the world as well, and it is called Ice 9. As our protagonist researches, it eventually brings him to the island nation of San Lorenzo. Here, he finds a dictator, a military leader who is the son of the scientist, and a religious man who starts a religion called Bokokanism. Throughout this flashback narrative, we see that the author himself is a convert. There are many poems and sayings and even songs from Bokokanism. In fact, the national anthem of San Lorenzo is from Bokokanism. Oh, ours is the land where the living is grand, and the men are fearless as sharks. The women are pure, and we always are sure that our children will all toe their marks. San Lorenzo, what a rich, lucky island are we. Our enemies quail, for they know they will fail against people so reverent and free. This novel has some laugh out loud moments. The chapters are very short and comically titled. We spend the rest of our time on this island. Love, death, and the end of the world are in store for us. In a brief 200 pages, Kurt Vonnegut eviscerates the Cold War and our apathy. This was a great novel, but I have to admit, I really don't like satirical novels that much. I really like novels with a good story, well told. This was more of a whimsical story, satirically told. For this one, I'm stuck between rating it a 7 and an 8. So let's give it a 7.5. How does it rank in my top 3 for 63? I think it just misses the top 3. I'm thinking that some of you will disagree because you do love satirical novels. But my top 3 for 63 remain number 3, The Man Who Fell to Earth by Walter Tevis. Number 2, Way Station by Clifford D. Simic. And number 1, The Planet of the Apes by Pierre Boulle. So do you like satirical science fiction novels? Would you rate Cat's Cradle higher? Which book would it displace from my top 3? One more book I intend to read from 1963 is The Game Players of Titan by Philip K. Dick. Please join the conversation. I would love to hear what you think. Until next time, keep reading.